What's up? I got Willie Hinton here.
Hello.
Oh my God, I love you.
Happy Mother's Day.
Well, thank you.
We're
Trying to get
welcome.
there, y'all. And some of y'all just want to fill you in. I don't know if you know, in 2018, I released a show called Misconception and basically bared my soul to the world about my husband and I's fertility struggles. And Willie was there. He's such a supportive friend, and we're just so blessed to have him on our choreography team. And so we're gonna have a little chat with you, Mr. Willie.
Yes, it's entitled The Quarantine Chat. Episode 1. That's all we need.
Oh,
we're not gonna have a second season. Just 1.
So, my husband calls him affectionately Willie Wakanda.
Why does he call me Willie Wakanda?
You know why he called you Willie Wakanda.
Oh, because
Willie is like the most African black man you have ever met.
Wakanda!
Kenya together.
Huh?
And we got to go to Kenya together.
Yes, we did, that was 2018?
Yes.
And it still resonates in my spirit now. 2
When
years later.
Black, but then you go to Africa, you come back blackity, black.
Black. And let me tell you, for a few weeks after coming back to the States, I didn't like it here because I felt like I was invisible as a black person, as a black man. Whereas when we were there, I mean, everybody acknowledged us. You know, and I don't think it was just because we're American. It was just because.
Right. So we're gonna dig in.
Let's dig in.
Do you want to watch it first?
Sure, let's watch it.
Okay, let me pull it up. I just thought of this, so y'all forgive me. I'm not prepared.
All right. So the one thing I have to say, during this quarantine, I am learning technology because I am so not tech savvy. I'm a dancer. That's what in school, when everybody was like, take, computers, I was like, no, I need to take another dance class. And so all this technology now, the whole Zoom thing and the Google Hangouts and all video sharing and stuff, this is all new to me, but I'm learning. So thank you. Thank you.
Yes, and you've been doing an awesome job.
Okay, see? What I say?
Oh, that's
my cat. Sorry.
He's a mess.
He really is.
All right, so we're going to share the screen.
Oh, wow.
Can you see it?
No, not yet. But okay. I see Princess Howell Johnson has started screen sharing. Okay. Ah, there it is.
Oh, yay. Okay. So basically, well, let's watch it and then we'll talk. We'll unpack it after we watch it. Can you still see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, see you. Okay, I'm going to press play.
Okay.
The homeless is still homeless. The poor is still poor. Yet we find billions of dollars to fund senseless war. And yes, we're fighting terrorism. What about the quiet racism? Dividing among ourselves. Somebody's crying for help. Heaven listening. Heaven's watching. Heaven knows.
Ah, 52.
Yeah.
52.
Yes. First off, let's talk about how you are 52 years old.
Wait a minute, hold on. 52 and a half will be 53 the end of the month.
Yes. Oh my God. Okay, y'all. So let me give y'all a little bit back. Let's backtrack. So first off, me and Willie met in 2008. I was this little young, bright-eyed dancer who thought she did something because she got her dance degree. And then I get to Richmond Ballet for an internship, which is actually about business. It wasn't even about taking classes, but I got classes for free. And boy, did Willie take me to a whole nother level of dance. He was my jazz teacher there.
Oh my gosh.
What were you thinking when I was like front and center in his class, like, yeah.
And on time, because all she had to do was come from the first floor to the second floor. On time, dance bag.
And I could not wait. I'd be out there stretching.
Just ready, you know, and because I think I taught on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, she was there.
I did not miss a single class.
Without fail. But that I wasn't the only teacher she took. She took a ballet teacher, Miss Massey, her class as well.
Rebecca Massey. I remember her. She was amazing. I loved her class. I took all of her classes. The ones I wasn't supposed to be in, I wasn't even at the level, and I was still being there.
But you know what? That's the mark of a dancer. That is the mark of somebody who is so passionate about, you know, dance, that they're willing to go into a class lower than them, higher than them, just so they can take a class, you know?
Yeah.
So kudos.
Thank you. And so when I met Willie, like, Royal Expressions was just a dream. It was just something I talked about. And it's crazy. I never thought like Willie would be like part of it like this. Like, we're still going.
But you know what? I remember, because after class we would always hang out, because we created a really, really tight bond, because it was only us. You know, it was just us, literally. I mean, well, me and Princess, and there was maybe one.
The front desk.
Yeah. Yes. So there were very few Blacks at the organization, and so we really connected. And we used to sit on my back deck and used to talk about your dreams all the time. All the time. I'm gonna open up a studio. I'm gonna have my own company, and look what she did. And that's why I would, through the years, you know, we kind of lost contact, but I would hit you up. Congratulations! I'm hearing about you, and so here we are.
Technology reconnected us, and look at us now, Zoom call.
This technology.
So have you ever done a dance film before? Is this your first one?
A dance film. I've done little demos, you know, but I've never done a dance film. I
think we just did your first dance film here at Royal Expressions, baby.
I think so. Well, it's funny because I had gone to there's a place here in Raleigh called the Morty Key Plantation. And I've done shows there and stuff. And so that's a place that I go to just to kind of unwind. And it's a beautiful place because I know my ancestors were once there. Maybe they weren't under the most favorable conditions, but because of those conditions made it so I can walk freely now. You know,
the same place where they might have been.
Exactly. And so I go there and I just kind of, I talk to them, I talk to God, and I sit in this garden. And so one day I decided I just wanted to dance in the garden. And so I just
Wait a minute. This is where this was filmed. Oh, wait. Okay. I'm following.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I thought you were just talking about like places you like to go. Oh, wow.
That was filmed at the plantation in the garden.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was just
so that's where the movement is kind of drawing from?
I don't know. I just was like, okay, let me just see. You know, and I used nature as my backdrop. And then I heard the birds and I just kind of listened to
I left the sound in. I don't know if you noticed that, but you can hear like the gravel under your feet.
Yes.
And you can hear you clap. Oh my God. I was like, no, we're leaving that all in there.
Yeah. And you know what though? I have to say the inspiration came from, and you know her too, Princess, Jess Burgess. She used to take class. She used to actually work at Richmond Ballet.
Oh, okay.
And she used to take class. And then a few weeks ago, because she works at Dogtown now in Richmond. Are you familiar with Dogtown Theater?
Yeah, I've heard of Dogtown, yeah.
And so she's like, I guess the artistic director or whatever. And so she did a little movement study and she put it on Facebook and I saw it. I was just like, that's really cool. And it was very minimalistic. It was very, very minimalistic. but it was effective. And so I was just like, ah. And so that's why I went into the garden and did what I did.
So it was very effective. And what's crazy, y'all, okay, so I actually had watched your stories before you even sent me that. So as soon as you were like, oh, I got this choreography, I was like, oh yeah, I think I saw it. Because he had posted it in his Facebook stories. So he sent me the video, and I never did go back and watch it because I had seen it in the stories. But Shane was sitting here listening to his gospel music. Well, it's ours. I mean, I listen to I'm a heathen. No, but he was like listening to it, and I was doing the dishes, and I was about to cook some lunch, and the song that's on there came on, and I was like, I need that song. I need it for Willie. What is that? What is that? Because the words were just like, I was like, why are these words still relevant? That song was written years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an old song. I think it's from the 90s.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's all still relevant and true. And, you know, this Amar Arbery was still on my mind. And I was like, yeah, that's the song. And he gave me that freedom. Like, Willie was just like, just pick a song. I don't care. He kind of like named a song. I ain't gonna tell y'all what he named. I was like, nah, that ain't it.
And it's funny because I had no intention of putting music underneath that. I was just doing it as a movement study, you know, in the garden. You know,
yeah, he just randomly sends it to me. And then the next day, my husband is randomly listening to this song. And when I tell y'all, I sat down, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to edit this and kind of match it up and make it work. I didn't change a thing. I didn't change the song. I didn't change his movement. I literally just put them on top of each other, and that's how it came out. And I was just blown away. Willie, I made the film in like 5 minutes. I'm not even kidding.
And see, like with work like that, you know, that's just kind of like a draft. You know, I'm like, wow, if it works like that with this just a little piece, what would a larger work look like? You know, and so maybe that's next.
Yeah. So yeah, what do you see next? Because we know Willie doesn't have like these little short 1-minute ideas in his head.
No,
what's in Willie's head after? I know we talked about possibly making it a duet.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so Princess has to choreograph her part, and then we're gonna put it together.
Yeah. So that's my homework for this week. So y'all be on the lookout because I've been challenged to make this become a duet, and so I have to study it and see what I come up with. This is fun. Look at this is 20. So dance has like been flipped upside down, our whole industry. What kind of future do you see for dance? Like, what's going to happen?
I hope not. I mean, yes, this is all good, you know, this whole virtual thing, you know, but I don't want this to be the new norm because dance it's an intimate experience, you know. Like Misty Copeland, I was listening to Misty Copeland, and she was talking about how we are, you know, we're forced to do it this way in terms of, you know, these virtual classes and meetings and stuff like that. But for dancers, you know, the intimacy is from audience to dancer, dancer to audience, you know. And so when that curtain goes up and there's that live audience there, it's like, that's where I'm drawing my energy from, you know. And so, like I said, this is all cool and it's great. And thank God we have it. But I hope we're not like, this is the new norm. I don't want
Right. I agree. Like, I do think dance film has always been on the rise. I think we're going to see a lot more of it, but I think that it's still going to have to coexist with live audiences. It has to. We can't just like throw it away.
Yeah.
I know, but I feel like theaters will probably be the last in line of things to go back to normal. Like, it's just, I hate to say it, movie theaters, all the theaters, because it's just people.
Yeah. I think I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was saying that, you know, once we go back to the norm, whatever the norm is, people are still going to be apprehensive because they're like, okay, this person's sitting next to me, and if they belch or sneeze or cough, oh my gosh, you know, because I think we're all going to be on high alert now, just because, you know, and even if they, you know, say, oh, it's okay, you can go back, people may go back physically, but mentally, I think they're still going to be quarantined.
Right.
You know, and it's sad, you know, because I know I'm ready to get back into the studio.
I am so ready. I am so ready. We are actually going to be doing a soft reopen in June with just our current students and very strict restrictions, but really excited to get something coming back. We're hoping to have auditions. We're supposed to be having auditions June 26th.
Mm-hmm.
What they're auditioning for, we still don't know, but
And that's it, but you know, it's
it's just
okay.
like you just keep taking these steps forward
Mm-hmm.
and just hoping that things will unfold in your favor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just where we are right now.
I think everybody is kind of at a standstill. You know, there's so many uncertainties of what's going on or what's going to happen, you know, in terms of dance, you know, because I know a lot of my stuff like recitals and all that kind of stuff obviously have been canceled, you
Hmm.
know, and some of my directors are like, no, we're not going to cancel. We're just going to postpone. And so hopefully the end of the summer, you know, there will be maybe some type of recital, some type of closure, because I think that's the biggest thing. You know, you start the year out so strong, and then all of a sudden this happens, and then there's really no closure, especially for those that may be graduating, you know, that are
Hmm.
moving on to, you know, other things. They don't have that closure. And I've been, you know, dancing at the studio for 14 years, and this is how it's closing virtually. Kind of sad.
Right. Yeah, it is. Is that Cecil?
And see, so
He's like, yes,
I
honey,
don't
yes.
know. There's something about the computer. I mean, any other time I'm cool.
Maybe he likes that vent, the heat that comes out of it. It might feel
Maybe,
good.
but he's just like right here. He's like chewing on my
Like,
computer.
ask me a question.
Ask you. Yes, he is like, I want to be interviewed. Okay, see, so why are you so bad?
He's not bad. Oh gosh. Well, do you have any like parting thoughts or anything you want to share about how this has like impacted you and like what
Mm.
you're taking away from it?
I was listening to a friend of mine, and she was talking about really acknowledging our feelings, because people ask, you know, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? How are you feeling? And we usually say, I'm okay. Because to me, that's the normal thing you say, I'm okay, you know, but are
Mhm.
you really okay? You know, and I know my feelings have fluctuated, you know, from, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening, to like, wow, this is happening. You know, I go into the store and there's these barriers up, you know, there's no connection at all, you know, because you have this plastic thing
When I
between.
heard about the one-way aisles and waiting outside, I
Yes,
stopped going. I started ordering online.
yeah,
I just couldn't bring myself
it's
to deal
real.
with it.
It's real. And my biggest thing, and I was talking to my niece about this earlier, about wearing masks. I had this thing because when I was going through my cancer, you know, I
Mm.
had to wear masks, you know, because before they found out what was going on, you know, they were like, well, we're going to put you on a mask and you have to wear this mask and da 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 and all this kind of stuff. And so
Mm.
for me, it's more of a trigger, you know, and I even tried to put on a bandana, and I started like getting anxiety because I was like, I can't do it, because I felt closed in. I felt like my breath was
Mm.
literally being sucked away. And so I had to take it off. And so I haven't been wearing my mask. And I know, you know, for
People have
safety
things to
reasons, you
say.
know, but I cannot, I can't do
Oh
it.
wow, Willie,
I,
that's
honestly,
crazy. I
I,
actually had the same reaction, but it started to subside. But when I first started wearing masks, I would have like these little mini panic attacks.
yeah,
Um, but it started to subside. But no, I feel you. It's like I know I can breathe, but I can't breathe.
I can't breathe.
But
I
it's just
can't.
like,
Yeah, I
yeah,
can't.
that it's a lot. And my mom, she wanted us to take pictures in our masks today to commemorate that this was the Mother's Day of quarantine.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, I hadn't even bought like a nice, pretty, fashionable mask. I've been wearing temporary ones because I think I just if I feel like if I buy something fashionable, I'm accepting this thing, and it's been hard for me to like
Good. I thought I was the only
embrace
one.
it like
I
that.
can't. I mean, and even my father, you know, I'll tell him a story like, "You got your mask? Are you going out?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Are you wearing your mask? I'm like, "Yeah, I am." You know, and I have friends. They were like, "We will come and bring you some." You know, because all my friends are like, "We want you to wear one." I'm like, "I understand that, but you got to understand, you know, where I'm coming from, you know, that it triggers some things. And I just, even when I see other people with it on, it still triggers memories of, you know, the doctors coming into my room and they not knowing what's going on with me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, do I have like this disease? And everybody's suited up. And it just really, really, really messed with me psychologically because I wasn't getting any answers. They couldn't tell me anything, you know? And so it's crazy.
So for any of you that don't know, Willie is a lung cancer survivor, which is like a miracle, walking freaking miracle. That's why he like celebrates his birthday a whole 60 days in advance.
I sure do.
Okay.
I sure do. 2 weeks. Coming up, 2 weeks.
He starts counting down early.
I started counting down in April.
His birthday's coming up on May 30th, so y'all be sure to send him some birthday love.
Please do. And if you want to, you can send a check.
Well, Willie, we Cash App now. Come on, Willie.
Oh, that's right.
You
Cash
Zoom
App.
it. You need to be Cash Apping.
$ Willie Hinton Cash App. There you go.
Hey, got it, y'all. You better go make that Cash App before this video posts.
Oh, don't worry. I'm gonna put it on Facebook. I'm gonna be like, okay, accepting
I just got Cash App, y'all.
Oh, but no, it's just, I don't know. And I know that God he definitely gonna get his glory out of this, you know, because I keep telling my students the phoenix is gonna rise out of the ashes. We don't quite know how, you know, and I feel like this is really forcing us to really, like TD Jake said, you know, go sit down somewhere. Go sit down and reflect.
And I've been doing that. When you know I don't sit down, and you know what I've learned, and we talked about this, is like so much of my anxiety has been rooted in this life that I've built for myself, which I love my life, but I've been like thriving off of anxiety. So now I'm trying to figure out how can I go back to my life in a more healthy way where anxiety doesn't drive all of my decision making and you know. So that is something I noticed because I've just been so calm through all of this, which is for somebody like me to be calm through this is just insane. Yeah. Like, I go to therapy. So some people know, some people don't, but I think therapy is important. And I've always used dance as like a therapeutic measure in my life, but it came to a point where it wasn't enough. And so I was talking to my therapist and I was like, I'm literally at this point going to therapy because I'm now in a healthy place and I don't understand how to navigate that. I'm like, what do I do without the anxiety now?
Yeah, I know my biggest thing, mine is technology, you know, because I'm having to embrace it. Because you know me, I'm like, no. And I'm having to learn how to navigate that.
But you're doing a good job. Like, you jumped on there quick. I'm so proud of you.
I am so proud of myself. But I have to say, Miss April Schweitzer, she has been helping me.
April Schweitzer. She's one of our resident choreographers too. We love her.
Yes. And then a friend of mine here, Latissa, she's been helping me too because I would have to do my Zoom classes. And so she would be with me in the studio and she would navigate me through, you know, the whole setting up Zoom. And now I'm like, okay, all right. And then I'll just play with stuff just because I'm like, I need to learn.
Right. No, and that's how we all learn. I mean, that's how I got into the video editing. Like, that wasn't something I did, but it became something I needed to know. And I'm so glad I learned it because now it's become a very valuable tool for keeping us relevant and out here and pushing our information out here. I mean, we're out here doing what Alvin Ailey is doing and Philadelphia.
Oh my God.
And
inundated with
I mean, I'm just like, we got to. And so it brings me, I'm just really proud of Royal Expressions and what we're doing and what we're so I really appreciate you sending us your personal movement study that we could just share on our platform. Like, I mean, it's insane. I didn't know you were in a freaking on a plantation garden. Like, that's insane.
When you come back to Raleigh, I got to show you this place. It is the most magical place, you know, because the big house is still on the property. and a church. Then one of the presidents, I forgot his name, is his birthplace is on that property. And it's a place that you just can go and you could just feel the energy. It's amazing. So when you come back to Raleigh, I have to take you there.
I would love to. Well, Willie, we could go on and on, but at this point, people have probably stopped listening.
All right, so we got to stop. And
y'all better watch it to the end. No, no, but really, if you guys could just, if you watch this and you made it to this point, we just ask that you continue to give and donate to your local artists. You're probably seeing a lot of films, a lot of free music, dance that we're putting out. Be sure to donate to these places, because you're still consuming it. You pay your subscription fees to Netflix. You pay them to Hulu. You can pay something for partaking in the arts that you are seeing, and you can give to Royal Expressions. We are a nonprofit 501c3, and we appreciate the support of the community. All funds that we're receiving in will go to our artists for this project, Conquering COVID-19. We're just finding ways to keep our community lifted up during this time, and because we have to. I think that's how they survived the Great Depression. It was just the arts.
The arts, and you got to see, the arts has been hit.
The arts and religion. They go hand in hand.
Yeah.
You haven't realized it, but they do.
Yeah.
And so it's important. And so we thank anyone who has always been a supporter of the arts, but for anyone who hasn't understood the value, I think you do now. I think
you should. We
There's
need
no
you.
way you
we
can't.
Need you, because we just need you. Artists, you have to remember too, we're underpaid for what we do. And we rely on, gigs, we rely on seasons, and when seasons are canceled, that means the check is not going to be there. And so it's like, wow, I got to find other ways to, finance my living. I have to find other ways, and whether it's through unemployment, whether it's through, people love offerings or donations or whatever. So please, because we're important too.
Yeah, you matter.
Yes.
Essential.
There you go.
Hot word. You are essential. Well, thank you, Willie.
Thank you.
Let's cheersies.
All right. Wait, hold on. I put it to the side so you couldn't see. Cheers.
All right, cheers. We will see you on the other side of the quarantine. Have a good night.
You too. All right. Bye.